Greetings, everyone. Welcome. I asked chat what we wanted to do today, and the answer was not Coria. The answer was let's keep doing other draft formats on MTGA draft.herokuapp.com. So we're doing that. And we have, I'm queuing up players. Even as I speak, I'm watching on another screen viewers flood into the queue, and we are through voting have decided to do Dominaria today. Dominaria is one of my favorite formats to draft, and against humans is a special treat, and against my viewers is an extra special treat. And I'm looking forward to busting out one of probably my favorite format available on Arena that's not Cube, straight up set drafting. I think, maybe one problem with Dominaria is that the red-white archetype ended up a little weak, but that is probably what makes it one of my favorite formats, because without excellent fun police, red-white can still win, but without it being excellent, the longer, grindier, late-game decks tend to have a better hold on the format, and that makes it very interesting to me. So I love Dominaria. And if you love Dominaria and want some of it on your tabletop, I mean, sometimes you draft these things and you just see a card that you realize, ooh, I need that for my commander deck. Ooh, I want to build a new historic deck around that. Ooh, Pioneer, I'm going to pioneer my way to victory with that card. Well, you can get all that at cardkingdom.com. They're my sponsor, and you can find them via my affiliate link down below in the panels. If you get there from here, it lets you know that this little spiel does some work sometimes, and then any purchases you make after using my affiliate link are somewhat credited to me and this stream, and that makes them happy. It'll make you happy because you're going to get exactly what you want quickly and at a fair price. And it's going to make Card Kingdom happy because their partnership with me is working, and that's going to make me happy because it means I get to stay on air because people pay me to pass on these messages to you. But they're messages I believe in. I do love Card Kingdom. Y'all know that. I'm not lying. I'm a real customer of that place. So I'm going to hop over to my left monitor now. We're going to see who we've got here in this this queue. And then I'm going to... So again, this is a Heroku app. For those of you who have not seen this before, this is a third-party website made by somebody unaffiliated with Wizards of the Coast, but it ties into Magic the Gathering Arena. What doesn't tie into it? It allows you to do, after you draft, to export your cards that you've drafted into a deck, into Arena, so that if you own those cards on Arena or have the wild cards, you can use the buddy system, the challenge system within MTG Arena, to challenge the other people you drafted with, and you can play out drafts for free on Arena. All you need is some wild cards or a good collection and a link to this website. It's been very great. Now I'm going to do one of the things on this site you can do, which is a ready check. We're going to ask everybody in this draft if they're ready to go. If we hear a yes from everyone, we're going to jump right in. Andy's asking how to get in on this. You just missed it. Yeah, it looks like Andy wants in. You could bow out, Flip, if you want to see with if Andy wants to get in. So Flip's backing out. Andy, you want to jump in? Click on that link right there. Thanks, Flip. Flip is being very respectful of chat. I had asked chat to not fill it up if they've drafted recently, and to let people who haven't drafted with me before get a chance. And Flip came through right there, giving up his seat for, I presume, Andy? Right now it's anonymous, but I'm going to do another ready check, make sure that our anonymous participant is indeed ready. Andy, somebody beat you to it, or is that you? Regardless, looks like we're good to go. Oh, now we're at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we're one short. Sorry, 7 of 8. Flip, you want to come back in? After all that kindness, looks like we're still 7 of 8. So Andy did make it in. Maybe somebody else bailed. Well, there we go. Looks like we got it. I'm going to just fire it now. And, ooh, I remembered. I'm going to give myself a little more time. We don't need to do maximum, but let's give a little more time. All right, let's go like this. Is this a good view? maybe bigger is better. We'll just do this and scroll down. So what jumps out at me here is Eldest Reborn. Gilded Lotus is pretty reasonable, but not as a first pick. Like this, there is big mana stuff to do, so Gilded Lotus is not a bad pick. But Eldest Reborn is one of my favorite uncommons in the set. From a power level standpoint, this pack is pretty weak. Really, Gilded Lotus, Soul Salvage, Grun, Mammoth Spider are literally the only other cards in this pack that I even care about at all. This is way heavy with red and white cards, which are my least favorite in the format. But actually, this is a great pack to open. You know, sometimes you open a pack that looks weak overall and you think you've opened a bad pack. But when you have, Keldon, but Fine is not good. This does not excite me at all. Red doesn't excite me, and Keldon Raider is an acceptable playable in a color I don't want to be in. But my point is, packs like this are actually great for you to open because you're getting a sweet, sweet first pick, and nobody else is really getting that much out of it. Grun, again, they're Grun, Lotus, Salvage, Spider, Raider, maybe. But anyway, love it when I have a clear first pick like that. And the rest of the pack is kind of garbagey for everybody else. Rare is missing from here, so we can't tell much from it. Seal Away is a great removal spell, but it's in white, which I don't want to be in. I'd rather just have Blink of an Eye rather than Seal Away. We could also take Soul Salvage. Soul Salvage is black. It is important. You don't need a bunch of them, though. You only kind of want one. I do want to make the Eldest Reborn pay off, but I like Blink. It's even a combo with Eldest Reborn. One thing you can do in this format with Blink of an Eye is when the Eldest Reborn's third chapter goes on the stack, so when put target creature or planeswalker card from graveyard on the battlefield under your control, when that goes onto the stack in your main phase, in response, you blink the Eldest and you can recast it. So I like that. I'd much rather be in blue-black than in black-white, although white is a great splash color in the format. I don't like being main white, but I'll splash white often. And Blink is great, so I'm going to take Blink. No flip. It does it after it resolves. So when that third chapter goes on the stack, the permanent is still on the battlefield. Memorial to Genius is great because it's like a card drawing spell that doesn't cost you a spell slot. Right now, that's the easy pick with what we can see on screen here. Nothing on screen is better than Memorial. We're going to slide down and see if there's anything juicy hanging out underneath, though. There's an Academy Drake. So would we rather have Academy Drake or the Memorial? Usually, I'd really love an Academy Drake. It's a great card in the blue-black deck because of the Soul Salvage. If you can get the Soul Salvage, you get to cast an Academy Drake on turn 3, let it interact, trade it off with something, then later on you Soul Salvage it back, and you make a 4/4 flyer. That's great. But it's still a spell slot, and this is an excellent, quote, spell as well, but it doesn't even cost us a spell slot. So I'm going to take the Memorial to Genius. Yeah, the Drake seems overcosted on both sides, but, you know, a Wind Elemental or Wind Drake is not awful. It's not great. But often with these blue decks, especially blue-black, you are looking just to survive that early rush from an aggressive deck. And that's when I just love dropping the turn 3 2/2 flyer with the full intent to trade it off and then get back into it, get it back later. Vile Offering is powerful, but these legendary sorceries tend to be a trap. I would almost rather have the Slyn Voda or the Befuddle. Befuddle is not great, but it's entirely playable in blue decks. It's something to do on 3. It eventually, you know, my mantra for this whole format is survive until you can recur value, and Befuddle is absolutely a card that lets you survive until you can recur value. Yeah, we can take the offering and see. The opportunity cost of taking this card is Slin Voda and Befuddle, which are neither are very important. This is absolutely playable, but you don't need to. Slin Voda is playable if you're really doing the very, very long game ramp. I've absolutely played this dude before and absolutely cast it for 10 mana, right? That's not it's not the hardest thing to do in this format, actually. But the upside, if we do just end up with so many legends from here that's playable, we'll certainly be happy. This doesn't count it. It's looking for creatures and planeswalkers. But the upside here is worth taking a spec given the opportunity cost. But I'm actually thinking we're only like 10% to play this. That's how unlikely I think it is we do play it. But if we do, if the 10% hits, it's going to be the best card in our deck. This legendary sorcery is terrible. Looks like I'm fighting for my colors a little bit here, but they're worth fighting for. I'm going to take a Cold Water Snapper. Yeah, there's a Slin Voda. I guess the Slin technically moves us towards being able to Vile Offering, but Snapper is more realistically playable. I don't love Slin Voda. We're not going to... Don't get tricked into taking Slin here just because we have a 10% chance at a Vile Offering. We're not... Like, if your big plan with Yawgmoth's Vile Offering is to land your 8-drop first, that's not a great plan. But Water Snapper is just actually drops and is good. And yes, it sets up the backdoor common win condition of Cold Water Snapper, the 4/5 hexproof, and the... whatever flight card, what is it called? Arcane Flight? Maybe I don't know the exact card. Anyway, it's a 1 mana, 1 blue, a spell that's a single blue mana for flying and +1/+1 and flying. So making a 5/6 hexproof flyer is a pretty reasonable way to win a game if you don't get busted rares and mythics. Run Amok is pretty good. Pegasus Courser is excellent. So we're seeing everybody here avoid the Boros deck. Pegasus Courser is almost criminal. We kind of have to take it. Again, I don't love white, but it is splashable, and Pegasus Courser is legit. If anything, I'm going to cut this. I mean, I might play a Relic Runner, and I find the late game spells to be so important that you can even play an Unwind in this format. And not be embarrassed. You don't want to, but believe me, there are plenty of Unwind targets that you would fist pump to counter. That being said, that's true. Boros is bad though in this format, right? I mean, so it's like this is where you get forced into. I love human drafting though. See, on bots, this wouldn't be a thing. You would just have to accept what was happening. Here's the Arcane Flight I was talking about. We could just grab that and work on the Snapper angle. But with the second Courser, fine. Maybe I'm actually duping chat into shipping me all the amazing white, apparently. Yeah, of course, Razor. I mean, it's not necessarily because I said it, though. It's because it's true. But we'll take it here. Haj just wants to take the flight. Maybe I should... I find you don't want a bunch of them, though, Haj. Like, if you're going for the Cold Water Snapper flight victory, I kind of just want one of each to be my inevitability. So I'm not going to prioritize that here, but I get you. Yeah, sometimes kind of get forced into it. Well, Oath of Teferi is the right 2 colors for now where we seem to be headed, but it doesn't do much. It blinks a permanent and makes loyalty activations happen twice. So that second part almost does nothing. We can take the familiar, but all right, fine. I guess we'll take Mesa Unicorn and look towards blue-white skies. I mean, we haven't seen, this was a spec. This was our literal first pick. So the table is telling us we don't get to be black right now. We'll see what happens in pack 2. Black was cut so heavily, it's likely that we'll be tempted by a hookup in black in pack 2. What I would like to do is find excellent blue. Blue was cut quite a bit too. I mean, look at it. Like if you look at our pile, it looks like we drafted white the whole way and then you know, got some late blue or something. But yeah, I would want to splash that if it works out. But and this is where it's like, this is where I don't want to be pushed into by this color pair. I just don't like the aura thing that white tries to do. I'd rather take a rescue here, because rescue works with Eldest Reborn in the same way that Blink does. This is not... I hope... Either we need... For me to be happy to play a rescue, we either need a lot more things like Eldest Reborn to get cute with it on, or I need to be pretty low on playables. Yeah, Poet's not terrible with Eldest Reborn, I guess, but it's the same kind of thing. It's only playable if it's doing something good like getting Reborn back, and that's just hard enough to do that I'm gonna pass on it. We could take a Sergeant at Arms as a kind of whatever, but it does clog the ground. Like if our plan is, the emerging plan is to fly stuff with coursers for the win, clogging the ground isn't the worst. But Partick Wanderer is also playable. We have a Snapper already. If we get, I would rather get more Snappers than play Wanderer. So let's take the Sergeant and we'll see. Here's another Mesa Unicorn. Charge is getting a little more interesting with Sergeant and stuff. I'm being forced into it. They're making me. Jerky chat drafters. I think this is what happened last time we drafted Dominaria. I was white-blue in that one as well. I generally don't like hurting the ability to produce color from my lands just for a scry, but we'll take that and keep it in mind. Both of these are garbagey. I suppose I'll take a dub. We may have to be all in and like be dubbing Mesa Unicorns and dumb crap like that. Yeah, Teferi would be all right. I'll take Teferi. No Teferi. We do have a Blessed Light and a Divination. We'll go with the Blessed Light. Although, did it not take the dub? I thought we took the dub. Yeah, there it is. The thing, Blessed Light might actually wheel with how this table seems to be playing the white cards, but we'll take the sure thing, not try to get that past, because it's splashable. Yeah, Juggernaut's nice with Courser as well, but almost, I mean, Courser's just going to launch anything, right? I think we should still take the removal over the Juggernaut. Yeah, Juggernaut used to be one of the more fearsome cards you could open in draft. All those core set drafts. Just core sets didn't seem to have the tools to handle a Juggernaut. So here's some of that sweet black I figured would be coming our way this pack. And, you know, we could take it, although we can't really splash Urgaros. The trouble is there's nothing else much here. I mean, I could take Call of the Cavalry, but I bet that wheels. And I just don't care about this card that much. Thallid Omnivore is more splashable. But honestly, and Thallid Omnivore could eat some of those soldier tokens we seem to be making. I'm going to spec on the Urgaros, knowing that we might not play it. It would take a pivot back towards black, and the table is so strongly telling us white here. Well, really, this isn't strong either, but the two Pegasus Coursers and the late Unicorns suggest white is where we want to be. Esper is a thing. Could we cut blue? That's the other thing. Our blue's not that big of a deal as well, so we might end up being black-white. Anyway, I'm going to take Urgoros, and just because the opportunity cost to stay flexible about exactly which color pair we are is worth it, given that there's not much obvious to take here. Another Courser. Boy, looks like another Courser is the winner. We're not white-green, and I'm not boarding the Weatherlight. So we're just Courser, yeah. Now I got to figure out how to take advantage of this aggro, because this is not, I mean, Coursers are aggro. You don't want to block with these. You want to be flying and attacking, right? So we will start keeping that in mind. I don't know. I'm going to try and not play the Unwind. Yeah, I think it's likely that we're blue-white, but again, the Urgoros was a pretty low-cost hedge. Yeah, we do need to add some threats to fly with these coursers, but I think 3 is fine. Yeah, call is decent, but not exciting. If I get some calls later, we'll take them. Dauntless Bodyguard is interesting. It's early aggro for white. And Journey Mage. Don't have a lot of wizards going on here, so we're not going to have a cheap Journey Mage, but this is a tempo deck where bouncing stuff really matters. Academy Journey Mage has been, okay in the blue decks I tend to play, but not great because I'm not usually looking to clear the way for attacking. In this case, we are, so there is that. There's also Narumeha. Flash 3/3. Copy target instant or sorcery spell we control. What would we be copying if we took that? Blink. Rescue. Blessed Light. That's unlikely. You need 9 mana. That's tough to do. I think this is better for our deck than this, but probably just want the Bodyguard, honestly. Let's get our aggro on here. I don't like being the fun police in this format, but chat has insisted. My table mates have insisted. And it's something, flying a Bodyguard isn't even the worst. If you're curving out Bodyguard into Unicorn into Courser, you can do a lot worse. Here's a Knight of New Benalia that also isn't bad to launch and is certainly more along the lines of our new plan here than like an Arcanist. So we'll set... Yeah, we're doing it. If I'm right, we'll do terribly today. However, as said, if nobody else is going to take any white cards, then we're going to, yeah, there is, if somebody picked up, what's her name? What's the 3-mana blue-red uncommon legend, wizard legend? If somebody got her, they're going to get the hookup. Hadlas, yeah. Weight of Memory is interesting, but Blink is better. Blink is much better. This is right on plan. I'm gonna just get all the dubs. We're gonna move in. Let's just move in, and we're gonna get utterly punished, or we're gonna laugh at them for failing to punish us. Aggro, tempo, blue, white. Certainly not playing that. Probably not playing that. We're too aggro to... Like, now I just want the Relic Runner. Excavation Elephant. We don't have any artifacts we care about getting back. So, yep, we just want... Probably not going to play the Snapper. I'm not going to cut it right now, but this is no longer what I would consider a Snapper deck. Oh, I don't like this deck at all, but it is what it is. It is where we are. We have been successfully cut from black, which is where I love to be. So we just have to accept that. Sarah Disciple, not great, because we're not casting that many historic spells. But what else are we taking here? Tragic Poet, but we cut the Eldest Reborn right now. It's possible we get the Eldest Reborn in via Skitters or something from pack 3, you know, some sort of fixing. But I'm going to take Disciple and hope not to play it. I think Disciple is a pretty bad card. Speaking of pretty bad cards, we could add this one to trigger our other pretty bad card, but hopefully we're not playing this or this. Would I play Skitters just to splash Eldest? It's a reasonable question, Haj, but you know, it does find a land. It's a real card that it goes and gets. It wouldn't be the worst. Yeah, I would. I think I would. Like, Eldest is so good. Was there a Scryland there that I passed? Oh, can't remember. Oh yeah, I'm not playing that colorless land when we need to be trying to curve out. I'll take a Scholar here over another Rescue. Don't think we're going to play this, but I'm not going to play a second Rescue. Here's another Relic Runner. We'll see if we can get some historic stuff, but they need to be good. I'm not going to run bad historic stuff just to trigger Relic Runners. But I do want to. They're on plan now. I'll move my blinks to 4, though. This is really where we want to play them. Probably not playing that. Probably not playing that. At least we hope not to. Yeah, charge would be reasonable. Excavator, not really doing what we want. I'm going to take another. I'm going to take a Poet here. All right. Oh my gosh, look at this. Maybe we'll wheel Raft because nobody else wants it, but we're taking Zahid, of course. And now we really do want to find some reasonable artifacts. There's not many, but if we do, artifacts help with a lot of things that are going on in our deck. They send the runners and they become a thing that we can cheat Zahid out with. Yeah, Trapper's okay, but whatever. Really, I want to wheel Raff. Our blue's not that. This really capped off, you know, really put our blue up. Our blue wasn't that amazing even. It's really just been a gun to our head on white cards this whole draft. Yeah, Sarah Angel, bring it. Wheeling Raff is doable, but it's very splashable. So anybody playing blue with some good fixing could play that Raff. A little chilly. Gonna get a hoodie. By the way, gang, I did it yesterday. All 10 tires across 2 cars are in perfect driving shape. Oh, finally. All right, we have another Blessed Light. Great removal. Cloud Reader Sphinx, one of my favorite blue commons. Danitha says, I'm pretty good. Aura and equipment costs less, but Danitha gets outclassed and then just sits there. I actually like Cloud Reader a lot better than Danitha. Yeah, if we do like whatever, I'm not trying to actually do the aura thing if we can help it, the dub thing, right? So yeah, Trickster is also great. Trickster really gets them. But I'm gonna take the Sphinx in this format. It's so good. Like it's a perfect curve topper for this. I mean, we got Zahid, so that's actually a good point. I mean, we do have this job a little bit done, but we're in pack 3, and I do want another Sphinx. I'm gonna take Sphinx. I love Sphinx a lot. Hey, we were calling. Now, if I knew I was getting a Sarah Angel, maybe I'd let that Sphinx go. But Time of Ice. Also, I've never really been in a position where I should be taking Time of Ice. Like, I'm never tempo enough, but this is actually a Time of Ice deck. What do you think? There's a charge we'll try and wheel. We do have a lot of flyers already. All right, I'll take Sarah. I kind of want to play this Time of Ice. Well, neither of these will wheel. I think Angel would be hate drafted before it wheeled. We're a bit top heavy, but not really. Like, if hopefully we've, like, I want to find an artifact for the lamp. Then we only have a little bit of top end. It's fine. We're going to take the Angel. Haj says Angel will wheel. I don't know, Haj. I think in that pack it would be hate drafted. We're playing in pod. Another Dauntless Bodyguard to get down fast. This is not worth it for 6 mana. Journey Mage, again, kind of does what we're trying to do, but now we're a little bit thick at 5, and we're not really going to have the wizards to make this cheaper. So I am going to go with the Bodyguard. Stay lean and mean. Sentry is also solid, but let's keep it low to the ground here. This does make me want combat tricks more too, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that. Deep Freeze is removal, but is it removal you want in an aggro deck? I mean, it's not going to kill our stuff, but it does just sit there and block our stuff. Although we're going to try and Courser over it, so maybe Deep Freeze is fine. Yeah, I'm going to take the Deep Freeze, have a little removal. Here's another Courser, but we could take an Academy Drake or a Reproach here. Reproach has that problem that we've talked about with removal in an aggro deck, where to remove something it needs to have blocked first and therefore prevented your damage from happening. That being said, for 2 mana, taking out 4 or less toughness is pretty solid. I think we have enough going on in the air now that we should continue to add to our removal. Yeah, we're not taking another Courser, but I'm not taking a Drake either. I think we have, between Sarah Angel, Cloud Reader, and Zahid, we have Big Flyer handled, and we're going to take extra removal. Another Reproach, but here's a Blood Tallow Candle. Pretty weak as far as things go, but I think it has enough that we should take it and play it. If we happen to get it before Zahid, it's a 4 mana Djinn. If we have Relic Runners out, we make unblockable Relic Runners, and it is removal. So I'm going to take this, even though in the abstract Reproach would be better removal, and Journey Mage, I would play a Journey Mage still. In fact, we might get tempoed out by this Insano wizard deck going around. So we're going to take the Candle, even though it's not the best card in the pack. It just does enough things with what we're doing that I like picking it up here. Don't know if we're rescuing much. Syncopate seems all right. We could take and invoke the Divine to have some protection against a very enchantment artifact heavy format, given, you know, especially with the historic and the artifact stuff. But Syncopate slides up and down the curve, protects us once we get ahead. I like having a Syncopate in this deck. We're going to take it. Mox isn't particularly playable. Has the same trap as, you know, Elder's Offering and that kind of thing. All right, well, here's another chance at an Invoke. We could just play this Partick Wanderer, but I don't think we want to be that big. We could play it, take another Serra Disciple. So I don't think a Serra Disciple bumps anything out of this deck. I'll take the Invoke and think about it, but I don't think we play that either. I think this is probably our deck, really. I'll be surprised if we... Oh, Mesa, though, says we can even take Memorial. I do. If we can wheel one of those charges, I'd rather play a charge than a rescue. We could take a Mesa Unicorn over... Yeah, maybe we just want another Mesa. And we might actually cut like a Relic Runner for it. Yeah, let's start there. Also, Tragic Poet I want to cut. So hopefully you find, like, actually right now I'll put the runner back. I would do that. Or even like the Invoke. Another Pate, but here's a charge. Saying how I would like a charge. Let's take a charge. I'm not gonna play the dub, no. I will play the charge though. Maybe the Sentry. Like we can even cut the Sergeant here. Could even cut Honor Guard or cut Relic Runner for an Honor Guard. Cutting that, of course. I could really make the white a much less heavy factor here. That's kind of interesting. There's this Invoke that could go... Could almost do mono white. I don't know what that doesn't get us anything. Gets us to be able to play the Void. They really did. We got bullied into this deck. I completely blame chat. But we'll show them it can work, right? Maybe I just want the arms, Sergeant at Arms back. And... kind of like all this. You could play 16 and accept tightness on the mana. But we have a Syncopate, we have a Blood Tallow Candle, we have some high end. We might not cast this as a 4. This is a 6. So I think we'll stay 17. I'm going to cut the Sergeant at Arms. It's okay. It just doesn't do that much, though. Even if you kick it, it's like, all right, great. I know we have a charge even, but... all right. Let's go with this. 11-5 is the suggestion. I like at least 10-7 here. 10-7 seems correct. You want to be able to Syncopate early, Deep Freeze early, Blink early. So you need your blue sources even if you're heavy white like we are. Let's export this. Go to deck building. Hop back up. Oh, deck limit reached. Okay, let's kill some old stuff. Played this deck forever. How many mono red aggros does one mage need? Alright, this is enough. Chat, is it Coercion? Is that I spell Coercion right? I don't know if anybody redeemed any special stuff. If so, speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm gonna go with Theros goodness today. Coercion C, thanks. I'm a terrible speller. I could not survive without squiggly red lines, as you can see. Alright, that looks good, though. Oops. Looks like I have all these. Probably just something in the board. Funny, I don't have Sarah Disciples. And we don't need the offering. I'm not going to play that. But let's make that go away and then craft the one common. And I'll take on Draco first here. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that so much. Actual 0 copies. And I've drafted Dominaria quite a bit on this account. Not as much as my original account pre-streaming, but yes. You really want to see one of our 2-drops here. It's kind of frustrating, but I'm also not going to throw this back, so... well, maybe I should. There's just, like, nothing happening here until turn 4, and we're trying to be aggro. We could draw out of it, though. Nah, it's too good. The cards are just too good to mulligan this. I don't know if a pro would throw this back, but... it's not on plan, Razor, but all the stuff is good enough that I have a hard time throwing this back. We can always draw into plan. But maybe I'm being stubborn, I don't know. I'm gonna pull it, even though I've already made the choice. I'm curious if you all would have mulled or kept that one. I'm never punished, so I'm going to draw a 2-drop, right? Yeah, split. Well, there you go. It was close. Close in the minds of chat as well. Oh, Draco. Draco's probably just yammering on and on about some nonsense to their streaming audience. Well, if Draco doesn't show some action, I'm going to scoop out of this game and play somebody else. And this hand will become irrelevant. Yeah, I'm going to say, sorry, Draco. Sorry about this hand. We're going to try again with Draco some other time. Hey, Cardinator, how's it going? Welcome. Yeah, those are some miserable packs, weren't they, Tron? All things considered, I think we have a playable deck in an uncomfortably bad seat. All right. I mean, I'm exactly where I don't want to be in the format, but you all insisted. We got a 3 power, 1 toughness, or the 2/2 lifelink. I tend to want to start with high power. If they play a 3 toughness, we can still attack into it. If they don't come up with a defense, we do the most damage. Ah, yes, we can turn emotes on because... oops. Because these people aren't jerks. I don't love using Reproach on that right now. I would rather drop a Unicorn and set up for Reproach plus Charge next turn. There you go, Razor. Honor Guard, one of our worst cards in the deck, but I'm going to send in now, let's see, if they... Even if they double block Saplings on the Knight, we'd have to 2-spell, but we could probably get there. I'm going to send in and use some of our trickery. What trickery depends on exactly how they block. Right now, if they stick with... Okay, so Charge is a great play here, because for 1 mana we win both combats. This is ideal. And we get to drop our Honor Guard and still have the Reproach for next turn. And some nice, clean exile removal for when we hit 5. So, Coercer, we can't Coercer and Reproach this turn. And that makes me want to just Coercer here. And maybe, if we offer the Knight, then they just trade Sap for Knight. That's no good. I'm going to Coercer here. And unfortunately, no attack, but I like... If we can draw another 2-drop play next turn, that would be nice. Maybe I should even go to... I guess 10-7 is correct. We do have... we have 2 blinks that need double blue, so we do want our double blue. And now, without the flyers, we're in a much better spot. We're going to send in these and just save the reproach. I'm going to actually offer 1 for 1 here and then see if they want to do anything to alter the deal. And if so, I can alter their altar. I'll take it. This is fine. Although I'm going to go... This makes me want to reproach this confessor. Although, here's the thing. If I reproach this confessor and they do have something, then they can re-up on here and potentially blow us out. So one thing to do is take 3 and get the confessor at the end of combat. So I'm going to do a little bit of trickiness here. I'm trying. I'm going to go in full control. That should do it too, right? But basically, by hitting pass right now, I make sure this trade is accepted. I do want to accept this trade. But then after this trade is accepted, but before combat ends, we can still deal 4 damage to this confessor while it's still considered an attacker. It's going to cost us 3 life, but we're at 23 and we're winning the race, so I'm being extra cautious. And now, see, if I pass to end of combat, this stops being an attacker. Currently, it's still an attacker, though, so we can reproach it. Ah, autopay. We're going to keep sending Courser and Knight and just try to win in the air. Yeah, are people not getting their friends' requests through? Yes, we'll take a second afterwards to clean that up. Trample, yeah, that's still... Basically, we're holding this light for something that stops our plan of attacking 3 more times with Courser plus Knight. And right now, nothing Oppo is doing is stopping that, so we're going to continue on with plan A, and that actually helps. I'm going to bodyguard our Courser, because that's the thing that, if killed, stops us from being able to get through. And I'm going to play the plane so we still have the Blessed Light available. Good timing, bodyguard. Guard it. So, Honor Guard. I'll just take 5. Then Honor Guard can force them to block with 2 saps. Get their chumps out of the way. Then we could even Blessed Light one of the saps if we wanted that to win combat. Anyway, no blocks. We're still on... Our plan is still in effect here. Invoke. Maybe with an aggro deck I should just pull this. Like, there are a lot of targets around here, but when you're trying to be proactive, a reactive answer your answer spell like this can be really debilitating and mulligan-like. I am going to offer the guard for those 2 saps. That's fine. Well, to be fair, you know, Halar is aiming really at the ground. Maybe Halar hasn't thought to look up. Now we have Blessed Light if we need it, or Crack the Memorial if we don't. Looks like we don't need it. The other Gruul motto, nice. All right, so though, let's see. I'm gonna axe some names at least I don't recognize. If you see me unfriending you, don't take it personally. They just didn't give me a lot of room to work with around here. One more, and then that should at least get us through today, right? If not, and more. Tunala, I don't know who you are, but we'll catch you later, Tunala. All right. Sure. Oh, I also don't have my data right. We are doing Dom versus chat. And right now I got you 1-0. Oh yeah, and even though my hair is not on the line today, I'll take any excuse to use this awesome meme.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
I'm gonna keep this. We have a candle if we can find our rare Jinn, but we even just have Genius into Unicorn. Well, we'll go Mesa Unicorn now. Thank you, Archangel. Ugh. This is what I didn't want to see. Like, ideally, we'd play both of these, but we don't have two white. So we have to choose Mesa Unicorn or Guard. We're going to choose Unicorn since it costs more, use up more of our mana. We can go Candle, Unicorn, and still use all of our mana, so that's good. Now, I don't know if Quasar has their other mana, but this is what I'm, the Void is a real cost. They did get a scry to the bottom with it, so in a sense they drew a card off the Void, but the fact that it's not producing colored mana for them right now, I think is a real drawback. And is why I tend not to play this card. Like, can you imagine if we played this, and we'd probably cut a plains, right? Because, hey, we have 10 plains, 7 islands, and imagine if this were a Void right now. I mean, we would have mulliganed. It'd be the difference between a mulligan and not. We can bodyguard and still have a nice syncopate up, so I'm going to do that and protect one of these unicorns. Well, that's an instant, so could have used that as an instant, but it is annoying enough for what we're trying to accomplish here that I'm going to counter that. And the thing about using it as an instant is it would have used up our Syncopate mana on our turn. As it is, we get to draw a card, and if it's something castable, we get to play it. Not quite castable yet, but I do love me that card. Looking good so far. Deep freeze on any single creature solution lets us attack for 4 next turn. If we find a land, we get to drop a Sphinx. And the candle activates on 6. So we're 2 away from candling. And here, I think I'm just going to offer a unicorn or a bodyguard for that envoy. There's no need to deep freeze. We'll make a trade. And then we get to play our Sphinx here after. +1 getting lifelink, so it survives here. That's it's not. It won't get the lifelink, so that's fine. We are still basically lethal with Cloud Reader and 2 threats. Ooh, and we'll just keep Blessed Light and the land off on the top. If Blessed Light doesn't get it done, the land afterwards lets the candle get it done. Thank you, Andy. 2-month streak. Keep it up. Oh, I didn't see Nantuko. You want hair again? Here you go.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
All right, looks like we got it. Well, no, they have oh yeah, we do, because we eliminate 1 blocker with our draw. I forgot we knew what we were drawing. All right. Crappy white cards getting it done because chat made me. I'm going to take... Oh, let's see what Draco has to say. Oh, that's weird. So we just had some weirdness with Draco's game, but we'll get back to him. I'm going to take on Cephas right now. Good game, Rocket. Took the front foot and never gave it up. Oh yeah, I think I will, if you remind me, if I remember, take out the Invoke. It's going to have its targets. It's just too reactive for how aggressive we're trying to be here. But this is fine. We get Unicorn into Courser into Sentry on any land. Oh, sorry, Tron. It looks like you're trying to coordinate. I'll get you next. Is that okay, Tron? If you want to do some planning, I will assure Tron of nexties. Ooh, that's a good card. The old Druid can really get you going for a ramp deck, kicker deck. But I like that we've got a curve out going of our own. That's nice. Candle is not going to be played this turn. We're going to send our 2 in the air and then drop a sentry. Yeah, blue, white, and red were clearly the widest open colors in our draft. But white and red the most, and blue third most. I love the line of quarters. That's just... I love the things that humans figure out to organize situations that the creators didn't imagine. No video game cabinet maker was like, and they're gonna line up quarters to determine who goes next, right? That just happened. Kicky Witchy. Well, pretty straightforward Invoke for 1, and then actually probably the Honor Guard for 2. Everything else here flies. The Honor Guard could do some defense on the ground, but we're clocking for lifelink in the air, and I'd rather just have removal. Even though we can't use this yet, I'd rather have this remove something in a couple of turns than keep a random 2/2 for the ground. So that's what I'm going to do. Although if we'd had Syncopate, that would have been a good thing to pitch with no islands to speak of. I'm going to throw in a full control bluff here. I don't know if Cephas is paying attention, but just to make him think a little bit, I'm going to put these pauses in here so that it seems like we may have something in our hand we could actually do something with. Most of us need haircuts. Well, so much for that removing something down the road, but it did trade for a card. And we're still having them on a 2-turn clock here. Tron is up next, so anybody wondering when they're going to play, Tron is next, not you. Unless you're Tron. Then it's you. Alright. That helps. Sure wish we had a blue, huh? If we had a blue, we win the game. As it is, we've got more work to do. How about just something castable deck? All right. Well, I still think we're doing okay on the race, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, this 13 is like perfect because it's 3 attacks instead of 2. But they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we are at a virtual 18, 19, 21. So they win in 3 as well. But we're attacking first, right? So currently we still win this. But I sure would like a castable spell or an island. Okay. An island should let us blink to live. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So right now they're showing exact Z's. We have Syncopate and Blink up to preserve the win if they don't come up with something to stop our Air Force. Well, yeah, whatever. We know what we're doing. We're doing this over here. It is a lethal attack. Back the other way. All right, Tron is up next. Mowing him down. Good game, Cephas. Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm going to take out that invoke. I think it should be something more proactive. Invoke to the board and either a runner, even a dub, snapper, something... Unwind. Well, at least as an 18th card, I could think of it as a spell. Probably just a Relic Runner. Ugh, that's bad, though. Maybe a Voltaic Servant to add a little bit more to our artifact count. That doesn't seem good, though. His Sergeant at Arms. Don't love that either. I think I'll try Sergeant at Arms for now. Maybe I'll switch it around next game too. Good luck, Tron. Keep that. Got Mesa into Pegasus into question mark, question mark, question mark. At least we got a deep freeze. Maybe we'll find an artifact and get this Jin out early. Well, Syncopate's interesting, but we're gonna set up our aggro back the other direction here. No one's shocked to see Tron's land choices, that's for sure. Flooding on the blue, just a touch. Again, could keep up the Syncopate, and maybe, we'll have that for a turn. Like, we don't have much we want to do for turn 4 right now. So right now our turn 4 play is going to be Syncopate. Tron took all of our surveyors. Are they going to come up with another color? Or they greedily took all the surveyors and then, okay, there's another color. All right, and us with nothing to do this turn of relevance, we hope that this Syncopate is going to get something good. I'm going to fire the Syncopate off on almost anything except a 1-drop, or except a 2-drop. It's a 2-drop. I will counter that instead. All right, well, we didn't find an artifact, but we do have Djinn mana, so flooding a little bit is going to pay off in terms of getting our 6-drop played on time. And we will hold Blessed Light as opposed to cast a Deep Freeze on anything here. Lifelink has been very nice in the races we've been in. Sometimes it hasn't mattered at all, but sometimes it matters a lot. We're going to Blessed Light that thing. Goblin gets a little benefit this turn, but we'll get rid of the Skizzik and try and keep the race in our favor thanks to the Lifelink. And thanks to the... Hey, that's right, we got a Sarah Angel. I forgot about that. Thank you, Dirt Sleep. Appreciate that. Can even play Sarah Angel first since... well, that's all right. This is going to block, and then this becomes an ongoing blocker. Tron feeling a little hot under the collar, maybe? But you didn't let me show... I have a Sarah Angel, Tron. Don't scoop yet. Oh, the old good game attack. Well, I'm going to say no blocks. I don't know, is this over yet? I mean, we don't win this turn exactly, but we do get a nice follow. We can... I'm probably going to Deep Freeze Knight over Sarah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're definitely going to send in with everything, but then play Knight in a Deep Freeze. Right now, both Zahid needs to die and Courser plus Unicorn needs to die. Here, I'm just going to block the scariest thing and hope it's enough. Now it's a good game. Wow, Tron almost got me with the good game, I'm going to get you. Good game, oops, I won. Cruising along here. Apparently, white aggro is actually where you want to be in the Dominaria format. I was wrong. Good game, Tron. What's with the early GG? You like GG and then play out a bunch of stuff and almost win? GG. Anyway, who's next? Who we got? Anybody else ready to go? I didn't notice who else. Could always switch gears if nobody else who was in the draft is available to play. Ah, that's a good reason to end up Jund for sure. Did we? Oh, yeah, well. Ah, yes, Draco, this didn't work before for some reason, but hopefully I get to battle Draco now. It was close, you almost got me. Like, if I didn't have specifically 2 things to play there, I lose. I could have easily navigated snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory on that one. This is nice. We'll drop a candle. It is very defensive, very reactive, but it's still nice. We got both our colors. We have a curve out of proactive things. I mean, if they do nothing, the Syncopate does nothing, but that's fine. I mean, if we draw no creatures from here, that stinks, but it's not like I'm not going to keep this. The run amok is what made it super close. There we go. There's something proactive to do on 3. In spots like this, I syncopate basically anything Oppo does. Whenever you can use syncopate as a 2-drop, I think you should, especially when you got other stuff going on. It's not that hard and fast. I just lean to using it, and then I need to come up with a reason not to, you know what I mean? Mostly I'm just happy to pick something off for 2 mana. There's that Danitha we passed. I can't remember what we took over. Oh yeah, my Sphinx. I still stand by that. She's okay. It's just that she gets outclassed. Like, she can't really do... She can't even attack into a Courser. We got Reproach. She ends up being kind of small is the thing. I'm gonna try the Reproach. They have tools that could lead this to not work, but we'll at least go to blockers first, see if they want to do anything, but we're gonna do this. Hope it works. All right. Little floody, but we do have this Memorial ready to help with that problem, and in the meantime, probably gonna blink whatever Oppo does. "21 more attacks and we got this." Uh-huh. I'm just gonna Blessed Light that now. Oh man. Candle. Can't believe our candle got whacked. Yeah, you can have that. We got 2 more of those somewhere in the deck, and we're gonna try and land this Djinn anyway. Oh yeah. Now, I'm not necessarily expecting this Djinn to live. They've got 4 mana and chose to use a Blessed Light on a whatever-ish creature, which makes me think they have more removal, as just so. Almost an argument for waiting till we can protect it with a blink, but that just feels too hard. This is actually not bad. Now we can keep the blink up if we decide we need it, but most likely we're going to Memorial here. Candle blown out. Oh, Keller. Don't make me put you in the corner with Dionysus. Well, that's exactly what we wanted to draw. At least they're out of the way. Let's find some action, though, please. Sure, we'll call that action. Draco's no dummy. Why are you playing compasses? I bet you Draco's got some serious synergies going on to be running a compass. But they have to be pretty darn serious. I'm gonna blink one of the dudes. We need more coursers. Sergeant at Arms. Well, this is what we put in instead of the Invoke, and I'm liking it here. It's definitely more proactive. We get to kick it and drop Knight and still have the charge. Oh no, just kick it and drop the Knight. That's fine for now. Unfortunately, our board looks okay. We've got a charge in hand that goes with our go wide pretty well, but they're at 23. If all they have is ramp, we're in good shape, but I don't love our spot. However, if we can use the charge to take out that 2-2 and possibly the 1-3, that's good, although this is real bad. Draco reloading like that. We reloaded too, but found land, and now we're finding more land, so it's been a little bit rough. We'll see if they... Draco's no dummy. They'll probably put the 2-2 in front of the Knight of New Benalia, and if they do, we won't use the charge. But if they put anything else in front of... If they put that 2-2 in front of anything else, we'll use the charge. No. I don't... Suffice it to say, I have not loaded my audio board with Dominaria triggers, right, D? I mean, it's not like we play this a lot. So, I feel behind, even though we look ahead on board, and, you know, there you go. It's like, I just feel behind because we didn't close out as fast as we needed to. I mean, that's not even the worst for us, but we do need to find now, like, the ice enchantment or we just lose to an 8-8. So far, I see no reason that Draco is running a compass, though. Compass currently seems like a bad inclusion from what I can see of things, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Draco says about that and what their thinking on it was. Oops. Could have had... I let Auto Tapper mess me up. Not the biggest deal, though, because we're not, like, alphaing next turn or anything. It was a mistake, but not a costly one. We're still building up. There's the deep freeze we're looking for. Let's see. We don't have anything to get rid of this deep freeze, so we could just chump for 8 now. It's not going to get much better than chumping for 8, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. We're just landlording at the worst time. like now, in order to have a chance, like we've lost our biggest threat, but we still have a Sarah Angel. Like we need to find something like a Sarah Angel and have it go unstopped. And we still need to also stop Slyn. Although a Sarah Angel might give us enough chumpage to be able to eke it out. But our top two draws right now, as far as I'm concerned, are our own Deep Freeze or Sarah Angel. I'm gonna chump here. Again, we're not doing much better than chumping for 8, and buys us a little time. Of course, if we find, like, Deep Freeze right away, we'll wish we had saved our creatures, but... alright. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could still do it with the charge, and maybe now we're supposed to. I'm running out of options. And if they have land here and we do take care of the Slyn, maybe we have a chance. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it is a clean trade. It would be a 3-for-1. Our charge, our sergeant, and our dauntless for a Slyn Voda. They haven't shown interaction for combat yet. I mean, obviously they could have drawn it, but like there were times where they could have done some combat tricks to affect combat and didn't. So my read is that they currently don't have any tricks. Since we seem to be flooding out, I would rather take a big swing at answering this creature permanently and hoping to rebuild than chumping away and eventually having an 8/8 chomping on our life. So we're going to try. And then if this doesn't work, we still have outs to our hard removal like Deep Freeze. But, you know, anything Draco has to affect our creatures, and it's an absolute blowout. Although, I guess, if they affect our creatures, at the very least, we can sack the bodyguard to save the Sergeant-at-Arms. And then, so this won't be the blowout of blowouts if they do, but at least we have that fallback to save one of our creatures if need be. Well, the plan worked, and that's a real threat. Let's see if it's good enough from here. Turn clock. Well, now it seems like it's a top deck war. I don't know what Draco's cards are, but they don't seem to be very impactful. Maybe they're exactly as impactful as our two cards. Deck size is 15 to 10, so we got to figure out how to win this quickly. How have we chewed through so much of our deck? Oh, they milled us for one thing. I didn't even check that. What did we get milled? Both Blinks and a Mesa Unicorn? Oh, Bodyguard. That's not very useful. Basically, need to find Sarah soon and have her just completely get there. Wish we'd drawn Dauntless after Sarah. Dauntless guarding Sarah Angel would be a fine way to try and win this game. Poet, of course, makes me go immediately to look what enchantments are here. They can get their Deep Freeze back. That's bad news, because it means even finding Sarah isn't going to be good enough at this point. Now we'll find Sarah and then have decisions, because it's like... Alright, Unicorn's pretty easy to just cast. We can at least start attacking with that with the Courser. Could even just start attacking, and if they want to trade off the Bodyguard, that's fine too. So let's do that. Unusual block, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm expecting something to save it, because I don't know why Draco would trade there, and that's what Draco is up to. These looked like terrible packs. Everybody's decks are kind of weak, and I think that reflects the packs we saw. Some of the worst Dominaria packs I've seen in a draft. Well, if they use that now on like the Courser, that's fine, because that just frees up our Sarah Angel to actually get the job done. All right, Sarah, come on. Right up top, please. We're down to 8 cards. We really need Sarah soon to have enough time to win with her. Assuming she even lives. Seriously, Sarah, right now, please. Big trouble. I'll play it, though. Maybe we find some sort of alpha here. I don't think we can win now. Like, we really needed to find that Sarah A to the S to the A to the P, and we did not. I mean, it's like I'm about to lose to... While playing a bunch of cards I try never to play, to a bunch of cards I try never to play. Like, this is just a whole battlefield of stuff I try not to play. And I'm not saying Draco did anything wrong. Neither of us necessarily did. It's just, again, a sign of the packs. Yeah, Cloud Reader would be a good draw because it would help us find Sarah. Another Courser. See, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna even say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards out that I try not to play in this format. I guess that's where we are. Naru copying Call of the Cavalry. Wow. I don't even know if that matters. Like, I'm still just gonna lose to, decking. Well, I'm pretty fine with, 1 for 1-ing here. And brick walling here. Their deck is a masterpiece of flailing through this format with bad packs. Hi, Sarah. We've been talking about you. Kind of late. No real attacks here. Doesn't Josu need 3 black to kick? I mean, not that you can't do it with Gilded Lotus. Not dead yet, apparently. Sarah having vigilance is pretty big here. But I don't even know what our final 4 cards are. I find it hard to believe that we can win in 4 turns currently. Also not the worst. We get to at least set up our final few cards the way we want. I think we still have like a reproach, don't we? Is there a Gideon's reproach? Or do we use that already? Oh, we used it. Never mind. Been a long time. Well, Deep Freeze could really help if we can get the familiar out of the sky. We may be able to win in the handful of turns from there. Courser should be swinging. To what end? At that point, they block with the familiar. Am I bringing something else along? I don't... No, we took Invoke out. All right, this is big. Deep Freeze the Owl. I don't think we can win in the air. We get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. We can get 10 in the air, which is awfully close. Then are we dead on the crackback? We're at 19. I don't think we're dead on the crackback. I can't really play around charge. I guess if we lose to charge, we're going to lose, but we don't need to... Oh, yeah, we can attack. Well, it loses the ability. It gets defender. Nice idea, but the Courser at deep is just an 0-4 defender. So let's go ahead and send this and this. I mean, there's an argument to just not send anything else and say either these get us there or they don't. I mean, if we send Courser and like one of these, I can do the math. All right, so if we send 4 bodies, we have 3 blockers for, let's presume, charge. So 4 3/3s, a 4/4, a bunch 4 5 6 7 3/3s, and a 4/4. We block the 4/4 and 2 of the 7 3/3s, and we have 5 3/3s hitting us for 15, which we still live through. Yeah, well, East, because maybe if they do some things to kill our stuff, then suddenly our clock that we're planning on being lethal next turn is no longer. So that's why. And if charge is the only thing we're really worried about, then I think we should play to them having removal for some of our flyers and max the damage here. I'm going to do it. That's my read. See, there you go. We're losing our Sarah, so I'm really glad we're applying the pressure we can here. Look at that. Exactly 6. Exactly half their life total. Exactly keeping the 2-turn clock. Did we do it? I really did not think we were going to win this one. Really did not think so. One card left. All right, we did it. I know I already said good game, but I like it after the game's actually fully over. Good one. Jozu. We were wondering if it was Jozu. I'm glad we found our flyers before you found your Josu. This looks fine. Yeah, I like to bodyguard something, but I like attacking for 2, so we'll do that first. Yeah, cycle 1. Looks like this is the, maybe the red-blue wizards deck we were calling out as looking pretty good. Alright, Knight of Dominaria is a nice pickup here. We're attacking for 2 now, 5 next turn with a charge, blink, and deep freeze all ready on turn 3 for defense. Charge does not win combat here. Blink, I don't like to use when it is not kicked. In this case, it may be worth the 5 damage and setting them back. The thing is, what are we doing if we don't? Like, because I can go Candle Blink and we can keep moving here. I think I'm going to do that. It's pretty aggro, and it's not how I like to use my blinks. But we're not doing anything else, and it's a lot of damage, and we do have Deep Freeze follow, and if all they have as their follow-up play is to replay a 2/2, then we can Deep Freeze that and still be attacking. Or maybe they play a 4/4, you know, whatever. They play a 4-mana creature now, and we Deep Freeze that. That'd be even better. The worst would be 2 2/2s. If they double spell, that's the thing we don't want to see. Although this is an interesting play because I think we'll offer a trade here. I would trade either of these creatures for that Valduke. We'll get in for 2, and then have Syncopate for their next play. Only a Syncopate for 2, so if they go for the Warcaller, we can't counter that. We need to have them go for something bigger here. Yeah, that's too bad, but maybe they'll try to 2-spell it and we can get the second thing. That can't block, though. I'm really not afraid of a thing that can't block in this deck. Do we care? I think I'm going to say no on that. I'm worried about things that stop my attacking from working. Some land, not the worst. Not super important here, though. I think we trade Bodyguard for Warcaller. I mean, I could Deep Freeze it, but that seems wrong. I think we go... we just trade off the Bodyguard and then look to reload. We're running out of gas. But what am I going to do? Stay back on D here and then block on defense? Nah, I should just attack. I'm just going to attack, and then we'll try and pick off the next spell and try and find some action of our own. We got some good top end waiting for us. All right. Now there's that. Still not going to deep freeze this thing. I'm not going to worry about the glider for another many turns. So with 4, we can't even syncopate that. I could Blessed Light one of these two. I mean, 4 a turn is a lot. So maybe I need to ditch the runner. That's a really awful use of mana here. I'm going to take it for one turn because we still may want to syncopate something post-combat. But I'm not gonna untap doing nothing here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and Blessed Light something. Sad, but gotta do what you gotta do. We have enough flyers that I'm gonna again take the thing that can block. I know this is evasive, but it can't block, and we do have a lot of flyers in the deck that can get in the way of this thing. Now at least we can kick the blink if we need to use that. I'm going to take 2 from the glider again. Not going to do it mid-combat. We're going to see about syncopate before we untap. But if we go to untap, then I will kick blink the glider. Yeah, we have 3 1/3 flyers, 3 Pegasi that just laugh at this glider. Maybe a kick blink will convince Serponage that they can risk a spell next turn that we can syncopate. Who called for the Courser? I'm going to play it. It means they get their glider back, but I wasn't wanting to counter that anyway. And if they come up with something else, we can counter that. They have a lot of cards. That is so sad that we cannot syncopate it. It's not what I would be doing with my Icy. I almost want to hold the planes if that's what they're going to keep doing with the Icy. Let's hold the planes and just drop it when we do find our Sarah Angel or whatever. If I can encourage Serponage to keep tapping the planes, I'm in. Ponage clearly playing around Syncopate at this point. Nice hat. Yeah, not stopping that. Don't care anyway, wouldn't try. Although, Icy tapping our blocker could be enough here, so we gotta keep that in mind, but I mean, we couldn't syncopate it, so there's nothing really to do there. Now they're going for the Courser taps. So I'm gonna play the Plains and the Sentry, still have some Syncopate mana. We could also just deep freeze the Glider now and go shields down, but I think I'll keep shields up for a big tap out. Not that we can syncopate much here, but if they 2-spell or go for some big kicked action, we do have a syncopate that will do some work. Really, we just need to get enough of a creature advantage that Icy just stays busy with our biggest thing. Well, we're not doing much with this charge, so I think I'm going to try and take out the glider with the charge here. A little bit dangerous. I guess I should have tried the charge before blocking, but I'm still going to go for it. If I had charged after attacks and it got countered, then I could choose not to block with the sentry. As it is now, I have to commit not knowing whether the charge is going to resolve, but I'm still going to do it. And there you go. But thankfully, at least I don't have to play my charge. Well, we can still play the charge and, no, it doesn't. I still lose, right? So at least we get to keep the charge. Yeah, I was thinking of this first strike without the plus. I thought it was going to be a 2x first strike, but yeah. Yeah, Jin would be nice. Let's do Jin action. Although now our Jin just would get tapped turn after turn. That's the joke through. Let's see. Unicorn gains some life. I'm deciding whether we deep freeze a glider here. I don't think we need to deep freeze glider. Not yet. I'm gonna be patient still. This glider has been funny, because I could have countered it way, way, way back with this syncopate. Chose not to. Had good reasons at the time, but haven't been able to use the syncopate since. Let's see, I guess we want... What do we want to protect? Unicorn? Courser? I think that's it, Hat. Looks like, I mean, they can't even paint this or anything, so I don't know. Maybe they're looking to use removal before we bodyguard something. There you go. I'm going to charge and save that. They didn't kick, right? So we just charge. Save the unicorn. And now I'm gonna not attack. I like having a... They can either tap the Courser to get it out of the way of the glider, but if they do that, they don't have taps for the follow-up turn. I know it's passing up 2 damage on the charge, but I do want the Courser to threaten blocking the glider, and basically use the Courser to nullify the glider right now, and force the Manipulator to nullify one of our 2 powers, and then try to get through with the rest and save Deep Freeze for something that we can't stop with what we've got on board. There you go. That's a reason to Deep Freeze that thing. We're gonna have to take a swing, take a smack here. We also have the candle. We just kill it. Oh, they're saying use it or lose it. That's fine. I accept your terms. With the aura, it becomes pretty big, and it loses all its abilities, so it can block. It is a 2/5 blocker. Oh my gosh, we finally get to we get to do it, everybody. Look. We countered a magic spell. Come on. So floody. Although not ridiculous, like not mathematically ridiculously, just I just want good things in my life because, you know. If we sack the skull, we don't win though, right? I mean, this thing can block, you understand? Like the glider can't block text is gone. So, and also they can tap. So I don't know what you're saying, Swag. We cannot win here. It still may be correct to candle an attack. And honestly, maybe I shouldn't have used Deep Freeze on the glider, knowing that it would be a 2/5 defender. But we can, yeah, let's at least go to combat, because I can do this at instant speeds. Let's see what they want to do. Yeah. And now, like, if we kill this thing and swing, they're going to block with the goblin on one. I think we should. I hate that I've used 2 removal on the same thing. But I don't know what else. I think we should continue applying pressure. I'm going to go full control, though, so I can do it before blockers. Yeah, I'd be stubborn to not do the right play just because it reveals that we made a mistake earlier. All right, we're back to parity because they can just tap the bodyguard here. Oh, I forgot to save the unicorn too. It doesn't really matter. This is a similar power situation. Now, can we please find some action? All right, that's pretty action-y. Drawing 2 cards, very action-y for Serponage. Let's see what they can come up with in those cards. All good stuff. Come on, deck. No more land. That is a card. That is what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, we can't 2-spell, can we? For 9? Oh, we can 2-spell. Great. Just enough to 2-spell here. Now, I mean, all this is destroy target Icy Manipulator, right? That's effectively what Zahid is for 6 mana. But it's kind of what we need. Right now, if they tap Jin, we're flying over with Courser and Bodyguard, so like it's looking okay for us, but all right. Well, this is not part of our official hair bet, so 7-0 for you, 7-0 for me. Neither means anything except some dominance on the day. Who's left? Is there some, I don't know who is the final player in our queue. If they're still around, I'll play them. If not, no big deal. Again, this is not our Friday Gauntlet tournament. I don't expect it to work out perfectly and get all 7 opponents. So if we don't have that final opponent, I could take on somebody else who has a Dominaria deck or something. Good game, Sunset. Yeah, I don't know who our final competitor was. Fun Police, true, generally means aggressive decks that make long, grindy, do cool stuff for 12 mana type decks not succeed. That's why we call them the Fun Police. Because casting 12 drops is fun, and aggro prevents that from being viable in most formats. And yeah, historically, this format does not have much in the way of good Fun Police. I've just found the right tools this time. Yeah. All right, looks like we don't have our final competitor. I think maybe I'll do my Tron Rocket. I played Sunset, yes. Cephas, yes. Fenor. Did I play Fenor? I think it's Fenor or Gran. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So I don't know. I did play Fenor. So Gran is last, and I don't know if they are in chat still or not. Let's see about that. Yeah, they don't even appear to be in chat, at least not under that name. So let's assume that this has ended the event. That was fun.